I feel
Because
like
I was going to get a notebook, but I'm like, she was like, you know what? I got these things at work. I got the yellow pages. I was like, whoa, let me.
yeah, that's some real like office TV show shit.
Right.
Real talk. Anyway, all right, Warzone podcast. So the first thing, dude. So I don't know if you watch like ESPN, like First Take, right? They struggling. They're struggling.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched First Take in so long. I think around the time when Skip left is when the same time I left.
I don't know about that. I mean, sometimes I could watch it, but you know what I mean.
I used to be faithful to the show. I cannot lie. I was every morning First Take. Or if I missed it, I would
I download.
I check it on YouTube.
Yeah, true.
I check it on YouTube because they have all the shits on there. So
I don't know. I think Shannon Sharp is like doing them in.
Oh yeah.
Shannon Sharp is just doing because Shannon Sharp
way better partner than Stephen A was,
bro. And you know the thing about Shannon Sharp is like you don't have to agree with him all the time because he be saying some whack-tacular shit, right? But like you always know like he's with the culture. Like you're like, yo, this is the squad. You know what I mean? Stephen A. It just feels like he's been in that machine too long. And it's kind of
exactly.
You know what I mean? But,
dude, the best thing people say about him is when he does the "stay off the weed." That's the most I hear people really say stuff from him.
Yo,
I see Shannon everywhere.
Cause Shannon be doing some crazy stuff. Yo, the funniest one. There's a couple funny ones, but
Shannon is more of a modern day reporter than Stephen A is. Shannon will be on Instagram with it and shit like that. Right. Stephen A might be on it or might be on social media a little bit, but
it never feels like authentic. Like I'd be like, yo, dude, just do like Adrian Wojnarowski, dog.
Seems like he's forced to.
Yeah, and he can't like he carrying ESPN. All right, dog. Like, Stephen A. Smith is carrying that company, dog. Like I was like, yo, when he offered him that money, I was like, damn, that's a lot of money. Then I see all the money. I was like, nah, I need double that check, bro.
Right?
Y'all, wow, y'all got my man working damn near 27-hour days. He's like, yeah, I just got done doing Sports Center. You know, I got to go do midnight Sports Center. Oh, damn. 5 in the morning. Oh, damn, I got to get ready for First Take. Right after First Take, I got to catch a flight. Actually, before that flight, I got to go do my radio show. Then I got to go do the flight. You know what I mean?
They be having that man doing everything.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, he's LeBron. That's who he is. He's LeBron for that whole thing. He's just like, he's 2007 LeBron. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah, but like, what I was going to get at is, so Marcus Spears and like Kendrick Perkins, right? They're on ESPN First Take and they're trying to sell people. They really said this though. They said James Harden is better. They take James Harden over Steph Curry.
Oh my God, I seen that.
I lost my mind. Cause like, all right, so here's the thing. I'm one of those people who can't stand when like somebody has a good playoffs against another person and then they just like automatically say like, oh, this dude is better than this one, right? You know what I mean? Like I hate that. Like when the whole Kevin Durant, like never like the year before Kevin Durant wasn't better than LeBron James, but he's on this absurd squad and he beats LeBron and all of a sudden he's like,
yep,
he's better than him. It doesn't make sense. And this is like the thing that I hate about rings culture, right? Like I agree, like to some degree, like rings do carry a lot of weight, but it's not the end all be all, man. They make that shit sound like the LSATs, man. Like that's not how it works.
It is, and it's crazy. This is the only sport that rings really matter the most in, because sure enough, Brady is lost in his championship games, but he's still the GOAT. LeBron loses, he ain't the GOAT.
I think it's a little different though, because like their records are flipped. Like Brady's 6-3.
No, I'm talking about like rings have always and always will be a team accomplishment.
No, I'm with you, but like, and even more so with the NFL. I think like the only reason like Brady gets so much like love for it is because like, him and Belichick are the only singular.
Yeah, they were the only constants.
Yeah, man, like they were there the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Same thing with Jordan and Pippen, right? Like Jordan and Pippen Even though like people just dragging Pippen right now. You know what I mean?
Pippen been saying some wild stuff lately too.
Yeah.
But continue.
I mean, we won't get to that. But like, I think I don't know, man. I just like it's just different because it's so hard to get to a championship, to a Super Bowl, and to do it 9 times. That's almost half his career. He's been in the Super Bowl. That's an almost 50% rate of him going to the Super Bowl, dude. That's nuts. So, yeah, I mean, Joe Montana's 4-0.
It's hard to get to the NBA championship as well.
No, but like if you're a superstar, dude, you can affect that way more. Like, for example, right? Like, you know what I mean? The reason why Joe Montana got the burn like Jordan was, even though he was never Jordan like in stature, but he's 4-0. But like, you know how like Jordan's 6 for 6, never missed a game 6, right? Like Joe Montana's 4-0, never threw a pick in the Super Bowl. That's nuts. Like if you think about it, 4-0, 3 MVPs, I think, and never threw a pick in the Super Bowl. No one's ever done that. Like I can't even like that's nuts, dog. Like that is the equivalent of 6 for 6, game 6, right? So that's like. So I think like with Tom Brady, it's just like I think the thing with him is that those comebacks. I think the Atlanta thing is what did it. Like that's pretty much what did it. But anyway, we get on topic. But yeah, Harden over Curry. I'm done with these people, man. With the buffoonery. All right. I'm not a Harden fan.
People are bored in quarantine, man. That's one of the only reasons I can explain for this wild behavior.
I mean, you
gotta want something to talk about.
I get Kendrick Perkins saying it because Harden was his teammate. Like Harden he was on the squad with Harden. You know what I mean? So he's probably got like a bias, like Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is another one, so we won't get to that motherfucker. Like, but I just. No, like I'm trying to think of the justification, like, oh yeah, his offensive production and stuff like that, right? Like that's the thing. His offensive production is like what does it? You know what I mean? It's like what the argument is. It's like, yo, this dude is led the league and scored in the last 3 years, and because Steph Curry's like entire superstardom has been like the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same as. I swear to God, these people are always loud. It's not the same.
They are, dude. It's crazy.
It's not the same as as like LeBron James or Kevin Durant, where there's like a whole decade, 8-10 years of them. There's like a whole 10 years of Kevin Durant being a beast. There's a whole damn near 15 years of LeBron James being a monster, right? Like it's just you know what I mean? Like it's different. So like when you're comparing those two, it's like Kawhi, right? Like Kawhi, I forgot, what does he have? Like 3 All-Stars in his career? I mean, this one's the 4th one. He's got 4 now?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a lot of All-Stars. Like, he's not, like, he wasn't what people are, like, he's not that guy. But, like, he wasn't that guy. So, like, for a while, he was a slow burn. He's what I think Scottie Pippen would have been if he had came in, like, if he got drafted in 92 or 90 instead of 87. You know what I mean? I think that's probably who Scottie would have been, because their games are just way too similar. Except Scott, like Kawhi's a better offensive player, basically because they taught him how to shoot. You know what I mean? But like defensively, they're the same. Like they're both locked down, but except Scottie's a better passer. Like Scottie's just a better passer. You know what I mean? Like so all around, like I mean, depends on what you're like. 6 assists. Like he's averaging like 6 assists, you know what I mean, that 93, 94 season or whatever. And I don't think Kawhi's ever averaged that many assists. I think he's probably averaged like 3 or something like that. So I gotta check on basketball to see the exact number, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just think like, yeah, the only thing you can say with Harden over Curry is the shooting. Like that's pretty much it. But like Curry's is the better shooter.
I mean, I'm not trusting Harden shooting over Curry. You know?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's the scoring. Like Harden's, like Curry's a better scorer. Like because here's the problem. It would be different if it was Kawhi versus Curry, right? It'd be different because then you can argue defense, right? You can argue like, yo, I got a lockdown defender that can drop 35 for me if I need him to. All right, bet. but they're both just offensive guys. That's all they are. They're just there on offense. You know what I mean? And you can argue Curry is maybe a little bit better on defense because of like the steals and you know what I mean. He's not like somebody who can like guard you face up, but he can like be a nuisance. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they were thinking. That's crazy.
It's that Corona. Corona got everybody doing wild comparisons. There's no way, shape, or form in my eyes that Harden is better than Steph Curry. Steph Curry is already probably top 15, to be honest.
Yeah,
he's in top 15, top 20 range, and we can't say the same about Harden at all.
No.
And definitely to start off a team, I'm definitely taking Curry.
Oh,
Harden is more of a volume shooter. He gotta take a hell of a lot of shots. I know Harden got passing game too, but so does Steph. Steph can rebound. I can say Harden can rebound better than Steph, and that's
but he's
probably
a little bit
where
bigger
it
than
is.
Steph too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying.
Know what I mean? And he's better in a post. You know what I mean? Than Steph because he's like got more strength, more physical strength.
I don't even really count that because you don't really see neither one of them post up.
True, that's very true. But I'm saying though, like of the times that I do see them have to do it every now and then, like it's always hard.
To be honest, I've never ever seen Steph Curry post, but
yeah, I don't think he can. I don't expect him to. He's a pretty slim guy.
Yeah, you're 6'3". The last 6'3" dude I remember that was posting dudes up at Chauncey.
Westbrook can.
Yeah.
Like Westbrook. That's true. Yeah. Speaking of Westbrook, because I'm getting, I'm tired. I'm gonna say this every podcast. They didn't put him in the top 10 of the league in their ESPN rankings. And I'm getting fucking tired of this.
Okay. So who is in the top 10 on the ESPN rankings?
We call it. Normal people, right? Like the obvious normal people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even have to list them off. Like, you know what I mean? LeBron, Kevin Durant, like all those people, right?
LeBron, KD, Kawhi. I'm trying to see who would you be able to swap out for Russ?
I'm taking out Dame Lillard. That's who the fuck I'm taking out. Quick, fast. I don't know how this keeps happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Man, that wave goodbye was so legendary. It threw him right above him.
Like, that's it. Like, that's it, dude.
To start my team, I would definitely take Dame. But
no, hell no, I wouldn't take Dame. Here's the problem that you guys like. I know you guys are in love with that three.
Oh, that don't got nothing to do with it.
Yo, if he's
like I
not,
said, that nigga will shoot you out of games.
Who? Dame?
Russ.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Russ isn't shooting, because Russ never gonna, like you know Russ can't shoot, right? Like he's not a good shooter. He's just not a good shooter, right?
That's already the reason why I wouldn't get him.
Yeah, but here's the problem. He could do a bunch of other stuff for you. Because remember when he was coming into the league, people thought he was going to be like a lockdown defender. Like that's what everybody thought. Because he can defend. Like when he chooses to, he can put a bitch on the clamps, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think. Because he doesn't try, like he doesn't give a shit because he's like all about offense and stuff like that. Like sometimes he'll do it like in key points of the game. Like you've seen him like when they were struggling to get to the playoffs, and he had to guard James Harden on the last 30 seconds, and he put the clamps on James for that. Like I was like, oh shit, like yo, dude, he can defend when he wants to. Another thing, if his shot's not falling, which is often, right? You know what I mean? Real talk. No, it's often, right? His shot's not falling. Dame Lillard, if his shot's not falling, he's gonna be useless. He's gonna go 3 assists. Like that. That's
I guess Dame can't drive. Okay.
Dame can't drive.
He definitely can. Dame can definitely drive.
I know he could. Yeah, he could drive.
Dame definitely got bunnies. He will definitely dunk on somebody, and he definitely has a mid-range game.
Dog, I'm saying that if his shot's not falling, right?
The only difference really is in the rebounding in them too. That's
rebounding
really
rebounding, not saving passing. Because like, I don't know how. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Building around Dame, like I guess you need like a post presence. I would assume, right? Like I'm trying to think what Portland needs in order for them to like be at like an elite championship level.
It's not the big man problem. That's not the issue. The issue is not the big man problem, because to be honest, they could have Whiteside right there just as rebounding and blocks, and a lot of teams have done that for years and they're fine. It's not that. It's CJ McCollum is not it. As soon as they figure that out,
the problem is CJ will have like crazy games where he'll drop like 30.
He is, but 2 6'3" guards in your backcourt, and neither one of them are. Oh, and I'll give you defense. And neither one of them are heavy defenders. I can't. I need a 3-and-D. McCollum gotta go. I need somebody else.
Yeah, like you could find a young version of Danny.
To be honest, they should keep Melo. They really should keep Melo, because Melo's going to keep signing for easy deals. You're going to have somebody who can possibly drop 30 in a game for easy money. I'm keeping Melo.
Nah, but here's my, again, back to the top.
Depends if you don't ask for too much.
Dog, I do not. All right, passing. I'm gonna tentatively give it to Westbrook. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tentatively give it to Westbrook. You know what I mean? Because I don't like doing the whole assist thing, because like that's not a perfect indication of like who's a great passer. Like Magic had the crazy assist numbers, but he was also a nasty passer, right?
Yeah.
So like it's a little different. And I mean, you see it with LeBron now, right? But everybody knew LeBron was a nasty, like the best passer in the league, even though he was only averaging like 7 or 6. Like, you know what I mean?
He still had to get his 25. So
exactly, you know what I mean?
If he ain't had to get his 25, that shit probably could have been 14. Shit.
Low key though, like I mean, I'm just gonna say, Westbrook did do it, averaging 30 a season, just that. But point is, if I'm talking about somebody who's gonna give me more, like if you're telling me like, hey, who do I want as my second best player on a team, right? It's probably Dame, because Dame can transition into like a spot up shooter, right? And it also depends on who's my first best player, right, and what my team is like. Because if I don't have shooters, yeah, I'd probably like Dame. If I have shooters, no, I want Russ. And it ain't close. It's not even close, dude. Like, if I have shooters, dog, like, dude. All I keep saying is, if Russell Westbrook had D'Antoni, like getting him shooters around him, dog, he was going over 50% from the field. His midi was hitting, like everything was going right. When they got rid of their big man, what was his name? Was it Clint Capella, right? Can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm blanking out all of a sudden. It's crazy.
No, it's Clint Capella.
Yeah. So when they got rid of Clint Capella, he was
they got rid of dude.
I mean, shit. They went all in, and like Russ was eating. Like, keep it real, those losses weren't on him. That was James Harden just not being able to. He's like.
That's the problem with that team. It's gonna be one of them too. I think somebody's not gonna be on par that night.
I think the problem is because like James Harden, I think he gets his shot off of the dribble, and like he's better getting his shot off the dribble than like set shots. You know what I mean?
Weird. But
it is weird, like, right? Like you see him, like he does the same damn move, right? Like between the legs, step back, 3 in your mouth, right? That's pretty much what's going on, right? So Russ is like, all right, I don't want Russ shooting the 3, no. However, Russ is so damn fast that if he gets you on your heels, it's over. And the problem is, if you have to like send someone to help defend, like if you have to send your center or somebody like that, he made Steven Adams look like an all-star. Like, we just keeping it real. Like, Steven Adams and Enes Kanter was looking like all-stars. Although Enes Kanter is a good offense, but he's just garbage on defense. But Steven Adams is looking like an all-star.
Mm-hmm. They're basically just switched roles. Steven Adams is good on defense, not really an offensive player.
Yeah, but at least like Steven Adams was giving you something, because like he was getting those easy feeds, because like teams had to like help out on Russ. So he was like always fun, like off that pick and roll, like especially when it was just Russ and Steven Adams before like Melo and them showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like when you're telling me like, dude, like the teams that Dame has had, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't like. He's a better shooter, obviously.
Him and LaMarcus would have worked out so much better if LaMarcus didn't leave. He didn't get a team enough time.
I think he just didn't. I think he just didn't want to be the second guy.
That too.
I think that was it. I told you, there's a lot of people. I'm telling you, man, it's a Scottie Pippen.
I know. I hate people like that. I don't want to be.
No.
I don't want to be number 2. So you're just gonna waste your years away on the Spurs, not doing anything.
Hey, listen. At the end,
like
of the
I
day,
barely even remember Marcus Aldridge is in the league. It's like you could forget. It's easily forgotten.
Yeah, true story. But like, here's the thing. Here's the fact. Would you rather? Like I always say to myself, right? Would you rather be Russell Westbrook, right, or Scottie Pippen? That's like,
I thought be Scottie.
See, that's a tough one though. That's a tough thing because like no matter what, and in history, Scottie's gonna be remembered, but it's always gonna be in conjunction or basically in lockstep with Michael.
You know what? It's hard to answer this question now for some people. Me, I'm gonna say Scottie right now because of the way Russ' career is. At the end of Russ' career, it might change. But right now, I'm definitely going Scottie. It's not even hard.
I can already tell where Russ is, like how Russ is going to be perceived in history. Like I've always said this. Like I said this before. Like thing is though, Dame Lillard is going to be forgotten.
To be honest, so far, Dame Lillard ain't gonna be forgotten. There's so many niggas that you think that we would be forgotten, and they not.
Dog,
to be honest, just off of that buzzer beater wave, he won't be forgotten. Just off of that shot. All right, yeah, I guarantee you
in 15, I would put a lot of money on like 10 years. Dame Lillard is going to be like, he's going to be remembered.
There's a lot of people that was there 15 years ago that people still remember.
Dog.
Steve Francis is not really memorable, but a lot of people remember his name. A lot of people remember his name.
But when I'm talking about when people talk about like, like great point guards and shit like that in history, I don't think he's not gonna be in that conversation.
Yeah, I think that asterisk is gonna be next to Russ' name. He might be the greatest player to never win shit.
Probably, like that might be true. He might be one of the greatest players ever. Like, but that's
how it's looking. The best player to never win none. 2 triple-double seasons back to back.
3.
No, 3.
3.
He couldn't. And he still couldn't win. Still couldn't get over that hump.
The thing that sucks is that like that last one, like that last season, with the Thunder, that was just bad luck, man. Because like Paul George, because Russ was playing really well. Like he was giving up the rock to Paul George. He was actually like, I'll play second fiddle. He was still averaging. I think he was still averaging a triple-double somehow.
I'm about to say Paul George was averaging 28 that year. That was Paul George's best scoring year.
Yeah, but that was because like Russ was shooting less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was mostly facilitating, but he was still getting 21.
That's the one thing I can give about Russ. He's not too harsh on being, number one. He'd be like, all right, here. I can give him that. But when you're saying, all right, here, and it's Harden,
that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, I always think, like, if Russ had...
He went to the wrong team, to be honest.
Who?
Russ.
Man, I'm trying to think who he could have went with, though. Like, I don't know what team. Like, he wouldn't have made sense in Milwaukee. That would have been terrible. That's the only other championship-ready team, right? Like, is Milwaukee... He's not going to the Clippers. He hates Pat Bev. Like, that ain't happening.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? He's never going there. It wouldn't make sense for him to go to Toronto. Like, he wouldn't want to go there. Boston makes no sense because they just got Kemba. Like, doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? The only team that I think he could have went to, unless for whatever reason, Philadelphia decided to trade Ben Simmons for him straight up. That's like the only thing that I could think of. But even then, I was like, I don't know why Philadelphia would do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
kind of hard figuring the team where he would go on. But I don't think the Rockets were it. I don't.
I mean, but of the choices he had, that was the best choice.
I would have stayed my ass in OKC.
I don't think so. I think OKC was like, yo, we need to rebuild. You know what I mean? This would have been the first year he would have had shooters around him. Had some shooters around him. You know what I mean? But I just don't think I think OKC, I always say like Sam Presti is like OKC has the third greatest front office of the decade, right? Or the second greatest. I think the second greatest front office of the decade.
Oh my God. Can you imagine Russ on Denver?
Oh, that'd be nasty.
That'd be nice.
Oh,
he'd have Jokic with him. I mean, who they got? They got Jamal Murray starting at their point guard. Get him out of here.
Yeah, real talk. You get Russ in there. I just think I don't know, man. I just think the best places for him to go is somewhere where they can where you can spread the floor, man. You just need someone that can spread the floor. 'Cause that's what you needed for Denver. LeBron, dude.
To be honest, Denver can spread the floor.
No, I know. I'm with you. I'm just saying, LeBron, dude, was
that must be the only team.
That was the team's. No, LeBron, that was how he was winning, dude. Before he, discovered how to shoot in 2013. You basically spread the court, get him some shooters.
Yeah, I think Denver might be the only legit team you could really put Russ on outside of the thing.
I think there's a lot of
shooters
teams
too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of teams you could put him on, but
I'm talking about championship teams.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Teams that are ready.
I'm saying if let's say all right, I'll give you an example. Let's say the Lakers didn't get Anthony Davis. Oh yeah, Russ being on there, Russ would basically play two guard. I wouldn't be shit. Russ cutting?
That team would not work as well.
I don't know, man, because you would have had Russ as basically playing your pseudo two guard, right? You probably still would have had Danny Green on the court.
Shit, I don't know. Shoot, LeBron might be the type, but you know what? Let me run off ball.
Oh yeah. But you think about
to be honest, both of them can run off ball.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's what I'm saying though. Because you
probably had to put Bron at power forward if that's
Russ
the team.
And LeBron on the pick and roll. That's fucking devastating. Because the lob, it's going up in the air. You know it's going in the air, dog. You know it's going in the air. What are you gonna? It's gonna be rough. They just they would basically have everyone else would have to be a shooter on that team. Everyone would have to be a shooter. That's pretty much it. LeBron can shoot, yeah, but everyone has to be a shooter on that team. The reason why I think it would work best, where I think they would work out, is because one, in critical situations, LeBron's gonna be making a decision, which is important. Two, Russ is on the fast break, bro. It's an automatic. You know what I mean? Especially the way they're playing defense now. Let's say you had Dwight Howard, you know what I mean, on the team or somebody like that. The way they were playing, or maybe Boogie Cousins wasn't hurt. You know what I mean? He could have been another person that could have spread the floor a little bit.
Now if he wasn't hurt, oh my god! Imagine having Boogie and AD though. You think about what's coming next year. Oh no, you know what? They released Boogie. I forgot.
Yeah, they had to.
I forgot they released him.
Yeah, but they don't But what I'm saying is that Russ could have been on. I can see Russ on a bunch of teams. The thing about like I said, it's not even to say I'm not trying to make it seem like Dame Lillard's trash or nothing, right? I just resent this idea that he had that one series against them, right? This is if OKC would have beat the Golden State Warriors and with Russ giving it to Steph for a little bit, would does that mean Russ is better than Steph? No, it's not. You know what I mean? Russ is my favorite player, but I'm not stupid.
They were having that conversation with who was it? They was having a conversation with Kyrie and Curry for a while.
Yeah,
it always dies out. It always dies out.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
Now ain't nobody talking about it because Kyrie ain't nowhere no more.
Yeah, no.
After LeBron left, all that talk went right away.
Well, because the thing is though, first of all, I knew Kyrie wasn't better than Russ. I got Steph as the best point guard in the league, and it's between Russ and if Chris Paul wasn't aging, I guess it's between those guys. That's two. However order you want to put them with it, Chris Paul and Russ or Russ and Chris Paul. That's how I got it. Everyone else is kind of they kind of all do the same shit. You know what I mean? They kind of all do the same shit. Russ, Steph, and Chris Paul all do something very different. You know what I mean? And present a problem that I don't think can be solved with certain draft picks. You can't get I need a really great perimeter. You know what I mean? Whatever, defender or something like that for Chris Paul. Well, Chris Paul's not going to be shooting. He's going to be shooting middies. And then the thing is, though, you can't collapse on him because he's the best passing point guard in the league. All right. Well, Russ, what are you going to do with Russ? All right. Well, shoot, we're going to sag off the paint. Well, you know what I mean? We got to build out for shooters. Here's the thing, though. If Russ is driving, Russ is just going to do, just run, high screen pick and rolls. just catch him off the top of the key and let him, you know what I mean, and let him come around and like, and you've seen that be effective with Steven Adams. Maybe you get him a really good, I don't know, somebody else is a good center. Maybe somebody who can pull out from three. Actually, keep it real. It could have probably worked with Philly, but they just didn't have the shooters. I don't know if they would have kept JJ Redick or someone like. They just need like OKC just needs shooters. Dude. He needs shooters. That's pretty much what was happening. And I think like, but this whole Dame is better than Russ shit. It's just like I just don't. I'm still not understanding. Like, this is off of that shot. That's like the biggest deal. It's that shot. You know what I mean? It's that shot.
Oh yeah, that shot is making.
Yeah, that shot is like
it's still new. The shot's still new.
I know,
it's still
but like
fresh in everybody's mind.
But in
gotta wait.
Yeah,
gotta give it a little time. It's gonna die out. Me
but
personally, you know me. I'd probably take it.
I mean, I'm listen, man. If you tell me,
I know what you're talking about, though. You're saying it's just because of a playoff series doesn't make him better than him, which I get that. I definitely.
Also, I just don't think he's better than him in general. Like, I just don't think he's better than him, man. Like,
I don't think he's better than him, but for my team that I would have.
Oh yeah. If you're trying to build a team,
if I'm building a team, the type of team that I would have, I would probably require Dame or Russ.
Yeah, like you'd want someone who can stretch the court like from like the logo, right? Like, of course, like that'd be amazing. However, like that's, you know what I mean, outside of Steph Curry and maybe James Harden, like who's had that kind of success, like shooting like that? No one. You know what I mean? Like no one has. Like you don't. Like most of the time, games are 1.5 court. You need people who can play physical. You need people who can. We call it either you need good slashes. I just think the team around Russ hasn't been great. Like they haven't put shooters around. He's only ever had one shooter, and it's always been the superstar who you can't like double off of. Like you're not gonna leave Paul George by himself to double on Russ. You're not gonna leave KD to double on Russ. Like why would? Well, shit, get him another shooter, someone who they might double off of that he can like kick it out to, and like maybe you would see him take better shots, like you're seeing now with Houston, because they got shooters. You know what I mean? That
we just started to see now.
Yeah,
I mean, he was. I was about to say he wasn't going like this in the beginning when the.
Well, that's because he wasn't. That's not fair though. That's because like he was like pretty much standing in the corner.
It's all fair in basketball, man.
No, man, but he was
I don't know why he was sitting in the corner.
That's because like he was like, all right, I'm second behind James Harden. James Harden was doing what he normally did: dribble between his legs, take a jump. Like he basically Russ was being treated like everybody else when that's not it. But now Russ is like, oh, you had Russ actually running point a little bit and going in there. I don't think he's better. Like, do I think Russ is better than James Harden? No. But at the same time, I think for this team, he's better suited than James Harden to be the lead dog.
Russ, shoot, to be honest, if James could learn how to just spot up, run off of some screens,
that'd be deadly.
Exactly.
That'd be deadly, man. That's what they need to do. They need to just like, yo, dude, man, just run plays, run off screens, or like, yo, dude, or just have them like run. I can't say have run and pick them all together because that wouldn't make sense. Because everybody's doubling off of James Harden on the three to guard Russ, stuff like that.
No, they're not. That's why I said run them off of some screens. To be honest, if you throw Harden in the Steph Curry role where he just running off the screens,
word, he's killing it. You know what I mean?
It would definitely be easier for him.
And like they would have shooters, man. That's nuts,
and then when Harden actually goes to score, he has hella energy because all he's been doing is really running off screens. It's gonna cost you more energy to dribble with the ball in your hand without.
Real talk, man. I don't know. I just don't. I'm just not with the whole idea that Dame Lillard is better than is better than what's his name? It's better than what Russell Westbrook. It's just like I just don't. I'm very much getting aggrieved. I'm aggrieved at this shit because this is fucking dumb. Like people just keep referencing that shit. And I just keep saying to myself, dog, there has been literally before that series, there has never been a point in the league since Dame popped up that you thought he was better than Russ. However, he makes one big ass shot.
Actually, there's people who thought that before.
I mean, there
are people that thought that.
Like,
hold on, pause the recording real quick. I gotta hit the bathroom.
Go for it. All right, we're back. So, Twitter lost their minds because back in January, Scottie Pippen said that Kobe was better than MJ, and I guess like for some reason it's just like resurfaced now. But people think that he just said it. People think that he just said it. You know what I mean? So everybody's coming at Pippen, dragging him, talking about, yo, you just mad about the last dance, you mad. They call him salty Pippen. It's kind of funny. Look, man, like we all miss Kobe, we all love Kobe. He went better than Jordan though. It's like I think the distance between the two of them, like the gap between the two of them, is like a hair. It's like really small.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not as big, but you still know who's better. Yeah, you just know. You're like, oh yeah, because like both of them were really good defenders. Like I think Kobe, people forget how good he was as a defender. Like he was a really good defender. But he wasn't like, and not like Jordan was a great defender, but like at the same time, once Scottie came up, he defend. That's what I want to know. True. Who did MJ have to guard? I mean, Dennis Johnson was legit. Oh no, but don't sleep on Dennis. DJ was nasty. Yeah, I know all about him. I know all about him. DJ and Clyde and those guys. Like there's some people that he had to guard that were good. Yeah, you know what I mean. But obviously, like once Scottie emerged, you know what I mean. Then it was gonna be Scottie. I don't like how people just keep trying to dismiss Scottie. Like I'm gonna make a video about this, like how absolutely devastating he was on the defensive end of the court. Like it was just, I think people truly underestimate how, like, it's almost like Scottie Pippen is what people try to convince me Draymond Green is. You know what I mean? Like Draymond Green he ain't that. All right, man. Like he ain't that. You know what I mean? Like Draymond Green can't carry a team. He's definitely taking it a bit far. No, but like, dog, ESPN. No. I'm talking about like the Draymond Scottie comparison. No, but I mean that's like kind of the like when they talk about, oh, he's a glue guy, he's the engine, he's their this, that, and that. You know what I mean? How many times on ESPN do they say like, oh, Draymond Green's the second most important person on the Warriors? Oh, dude, remember ESPN came out with that stupid ass list where they said Draymond Green was top. I don't respect that fucking list. I don't never respect the list from ESPN. Like they just doing it for clickbait. But they put Draymond Green in the top 10 in the league at one point. ESPN's been a joke for years. Yo, I lost my damn mind, dog. Like you remember we used to work with each other. You know me. You know my feelings. So like, I have been enjoying this season watching Draymond. Oh, I know. Oh, just wither away. But he still is playing without a couple people. You can't really see. This is next year. Next year is when we really gonna make that assessment on Draymond's career. I don't know because he's gonna have the squad back though. The next year is gonna be important. Yeah, of course. Draymond was never a scorer, so I don't. He's gonna need a squad. He was never a scorer. He's a glue guy. Yeah, but that's what I've been trying to say. I never said that he wasn't a glue guy. I didn't say that he was. I said like he's Horace Grant. That's what I was saying. Like he's like his importance is Horace Grant. Like, do they win without Horace Grant? I'd go a better version of Horace. No, I'd say he's not Dennis. Like he's not that. But he's like Horace. Like yo, dude. Like first of all, people really sleep on Horace Grant. Like that. Horace Grant was a good player. He was a really, really good player. You know what I mean? Like he was a really good player. Like you know what I mean? When he was getting shots and shit like that, like he was giving you 15 and 11. You know what I mean? Which is really good and an excellent defender in the post. So yeah, he's Horace Grant, the third best guy on a championship winning team. That's who he is. You know what I mean? He's that third guy. And that's what Horace Grant was.
Horace Grant was third guy. Remember, like they didn't lose. Like people think that they lost to the Magic because they didn't have, because like Jordan was out of shape, and that was part of it, right? That was obviously part of it. But the biggest reason was because they didn't have anyone in the post that could get rebounds and shit for them. Like they didn't have a real post defense, like a defensive presence in the post. And Horace Grant went off that series, so I think he was like averaging like 20 and 12. It was kind of stupid. But
he was waiting to see them.
Oh yeah, nah. He wanted smoke with Jordan that time, dude. Like he wanted smoke. He still wants smoke. But like, yeah, man. Like to say that, yeah, like Horace Grant is a guy who I think, like, yeah, dude. Like, do they win that series against the Magic with Horace Grant on the Bulls? Yes, I think they do. Do they win 3 more titles with Horace Grant instead of Dennis Rodman? Yes, I think so. I think they do. Like, I think that was the nucleus, right?
I don't know.
I think so, man. Because like he was such like dude. They don't go 72-10 with Horace Grant. I think that's where Dennis Rodman's presence is felt. But dude, if a guy can give you like 11, 12 rebounds and like as a third or fourth scoring option and give you like 10, 12 points. Damn. You know what I mean? Damn. You know, like Kukoc was going to get like the third highest, like he was going to be like their third leading scorer most likely, right? And so like you would have had Jordan, Scotty.
I don't know. It kind of all depends on what team Rodman would end up being on. Because if he ends up being on a team that rivals him, Horace Grant is basically out of the equation.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, if he ends up on like Seattle,
that's what I'm saying. If it's a team that's going to be able to rival the Bulls, I don't know about no 20-10 for Horace Grant.
I think the only team that I think Rodman would have made sense on would have been like Seattle. If he'd have went to Seattle, that's a very different series.
Yeah,
it is. Very different series.
Very different series.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sean Kemp can just run. He ain't even got to worry about the board. Just
pretty
run.
Pretty much, dude.
Just run. I'm going to kick it to GP, and it's going to be a oop from half court.
Yeah, man. And Sean Kemp could fly, dog. Like, Sean Kemp could actually fly, dog. But yeah, no, man. I just don't think, yeah, like, he was the third guy. You know what I mean? On a great team. He was a really good player. That's what Draymond Green is. He's a really good player. He's the third guy on a championship team. But it's different from him and Horace Grant because like they're obviously not franchise guys, right? They're not the second best guy on the championship team. But they could be a third best guy because they do what they do well is the stuff that you need third and on guys to do well. You know what I mean? Like,
did you hear about why Draymond can't shoot no more?
No, what happened?
I actually read it. It was this surgery. Like he said something after the finals. I read it a while back. He said something after the finals, after one of the final series, that he had to get some type of surgery done, and he said it messed up something in his mechanics or something like that. I gotta look it up.
Man, that sounds like Isaiah. Like when Isaiah's wrist got jacked up and it pretty much like ended his career. That's kind of nuts. I just don't.
He said it was something after a surgery. He couldn't.
Yeah, because that's the one thing I would give like Draymond. He was a decent shooter. From the three like spot up,
and it just went right down.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, like how he just like couldn't shoot. Like I didn't expect him to get his own shot. Like he can't get his own shot, but he was good, dude. That game 7, he might have been Finals MVP if they win in 2016. Mm-hmm. He might have messed around and been Finals MVP, and I couldn't even argue against it, dude. What did he have? 35, like 14 and 9 or some shit like that, dude. He went nuts. Like that was the best game he's ever played, and the biggest game ever. You know what I mean? That they've played. Like that entire run, game 7, that was the biggest game of their entire run. Was that game 7, and he showed up. So I mean, I'm giving him credit. And I ain't about just handing Draymond no credit. But nah, he was good. Like he's a really good player, but he's not like he needs to just stop talking like he's better than Charles Barkley. He's out of his damn mind, dog. Like we just have to. People just need to like And the thing is, though, like, I'm glad that the NBA Twitter and NBA social media is like smart enough to say, like, yo, you need to sit down. Like, you know what I mean? I think people are starting to get hip to the rings culture because that shit is kind of fucking up, like, people's legacies and like how people act. Because like you get these casuals online that just like say, oh, well, he's got 6 rings and this guy's got 3, or this guy's got, like, that's not how that works. You know what I mean? So and then they just like assume somebody's better than somebody else. Like, I forgot, Ron Harper said Scottie Pippen was the best small forward of all time, and I said, yo, Ron Harper, you need to. But you know what's crazy though? This just shows me how much that team loved him though. Like, if you notice, everyone has said like, oh, he was the best player in the league. He was the best. Like, even in the documentary, they were saying like he's the best player. He was the best player in the league that year. He was this. He was that. He was that. Like, they love him. Like, I've never, like, all of Jordan's teammates pretty much hate him, but they love Scottie. Like, you notice everyone loves that dude so much. Like, it just feels like, and I think that's why ESPN is trying so hard to like get him to come back, because he ain't coming back, dog. Like, he's not coming back. He's done. Like, Last Dance, like, they stopped talking about it like a week ago. He's not coming back. It's over. He's like, I don't, like, next time we see him on a jump, it's gonna be like 2022. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be 2022. Like, he's not coming back. Like, you know what I mean? I don't blame him. Like, I'd be pretty hot too, like, if I was on ESPN. But like, you could tell ESPN's trying super hard. I feel like we always end up talking about Scottie Pippen.
Yep. Always.
Like, we always end up talking about Scottie because like he's one of my, like, he's on my super underrated list. You know what I mean? And then Draymond's number 1 on my overrated ass list.
Shit, I don't know. The way I see people talk about Scottie, he ain't underrated the way I hear people talk about him.
I mean, now, but I'm talking about throughout history, though. Like,
I'm talking about even before the documentary came out. People in the war room, I respected Scottie.
Oh yeah. Nah, if you know basketball, you know Scottie was like the truth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know he was the truth. Like, among small forwards, you're saying to yourself, like, damn, is he top 10 in small forwards? And I'm like, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, I mean, you know who's ahead of him, right? Like, you already know. It's like KD, LeBron, Lillard. Like, those, I mean, not Lillard, Larry Bird. So those are the 3, right? Like, those are the 3 definites, right? And then you have like other people, like, yo, Kawhi probably, and Kawhi's ahead of him.
I'm putting Scottie in that 4th spot.
I don't know, man. I think
for now.
Oh yeah. I think this is gonna be like,
I already know Kawhi's gonna pass.
Yeah, this is crazy. But I don't think Scottie's in the
not yet.
though. But I don't think Scottie's in the 4. He's not better than Dr. J. Scottie wasn't better than Dr. J. That's crazy. Like, I love Scottie.
Small forward.
He
wasn't him as a shooting guard.
Who, Dr. J? But y'all, Dr. J was a small forward, dog. Like, Dr. J can't shoot. Dr. J can't shoot.
But just because you at the shooting guard position doesn't always mean.
I know, I'm with you, but like, he was a small forward. He was exact same size. He was like 6'7", 6'8". Like, he was a small forward. Man. Like, people, like, the thing is though, is that like people forget, like, guys like LeBron and all those people like that. Like, now they're small forwards and stuff like that, dude. But back then, those were like power forwards, man. Like, Karl Malone, I think, was like 6'9". He was LeBron. Like, he was built like LeBron, and he was their power forward. Like, small forward.
Yeah. I'll put Julius Erving in the 4th spot.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm definitely putting Scottie at the 5th, and then he's probably gonna get switched out for Kawhi.
That's tough, man. Because, like, all right, so I'm adding people. Mind you, I love Scottie, right? Like, y'all, if anybody listening to this knows, I'm like, I can't. I'm always like champion. You know what I mean, on Scottie's behalf. But like, James Worthy is another one that I can think of. Do I take him ahead of Paul Pierce? Because Paul Pierce does get disrespected quite a bit. You know what I mean? Do I take him ahead of so it's James Worthy, Paul Pierce are the 2 that I can, like, off the top of my head, I say, like, that's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Do I take him over them 2? I think he's top 10. Like, I think he's a top 10 small forward, definitely. It's just like, he's in that range. You know what I mean? James Worthy, because James Worthy was a better scorer, like a way better scorer than Scottie. Scottie was never a natural scorer, but Scottie's defense was so absurdly good. You know what I mean? Like, was just so absurdly high level, so absurd. Like I'm saying right now, he is probably the greatest wing defender of all time, and like that has to count. You know what I mean? That has to mean something. So, like, could I put him ahead of James Worthy and guys like that?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm looking at both stats. I'm taking Pippen over Worthy. Looking at the stats, I'm looking at the rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, all of it put together. To be honest, they're not too different, but I would take Scottie just.
Yeah, Scottie was a way better defender, definitely. But like, I would say like.
Let's see. Look, his best year was what, 21.4. Second best year was 21.1 assists. 4.7 was his best. Rebounding 6.4 was his best. That's worthy. Scottie 21.4. This nigga averaged 2.9 steals back to back seasons.
Oh yeah.
22 was his highest that he averaged.
Yeah.
Let's look at the assists. He averaged 6.3 at one point. Shit, Scottie was pulling down 8.7 boards a game at one point. Shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking Scottie, man.
I know.
To be honest, his regular averages would have been higher if he would have just retired after Chicago.
Oh yeah. No, his regular averages would have been like 29 or 28 and like 7.
Yeah, because
like,
his last couple years was 14, 12, 11, 10,
but he had to get that money.
10 and 5.
Yeah, he had to get that money though. Like, I ain't even mad at him. Like, he was like, I need to check.
Man, he came back to Chicago when he was 38 his last year.
Oh, he wasn't playing. Like, he
played 6 games.
Yeah, no, he wasn't trying to play though. He didn't care.
He was probably just trying to retire with the Bulls.
Nah, low key. All right, so I heard Jalen Rose on his show talk about how what's the name was like, you know, because he played with Scottie the last years in the Bulls, and he was like, yo man, I think we like, because he was like, oh, I think we got a squad, and what's the name turned around, was like, I ain't doing nothing. Like, these motherfuckers owe me. Like, he ain't doing nothing for these fools. So I don't think, so Scottie didn't come to play. Scottie came to collect a check, and they were paying him pretty good, I think. But yeah, so next thing, which has been like the hot topic over the last like couple, like over the last week, right? Paul Pierce.
The longer life goes on, the more and more I dislike Paul Pierce.
You know, Paul Pierce, like, everyone hates that. Like, I've never seen champions hate it. Like, there's a list of champions that are like disrespected, right? Like that 2000, like the Warriors, the KD Warriors, like 17-18. Nobody respects those titles, right? Like, nobody respects it. You know what I mean? Like, people who bring up those Warriors titles, like, kind of just be like, whatever, man. Like, nobody, they're just easily disrespected, right? That 08 Celtics team is close to being on that level. You know what I mean?
I still don't get that. And to be honest, if the Warriors are on that level, Miami, Boston, the Lakers in 04, they all should be on that list. I mean, the Lakers didn't win the championship, but they sure tried.
Here's the problem. Like, here's the problem with the KD and what's saying, right? Like, even though, like, you know what I mean? Even though, like, LeBron had left, it was really, I'm going to always say this, dude. It's so, like, but KD and LeBron's move is not even, I don't think they're the same. The difference is that KD left with maybe the second or third best front office in basketball. Like, that was, they were getting him a squad every year. Like, dog, me and you were talking about that bench one day. Like, we were like, damn, dude, they had this on the bench, they had that on the bench. Jesus Christ. Like, they had this coming off. Like, geez, they had squad, they had people, right? They didn't have shooters. That was the problem. They didn't have shooters. They had people, but they didn't have shooters. LeBron James, you could argue no one has had worse like there's like if you think about all the superstars, like the all-time great guys, like your top 10, right? They all had great front office, except for LeBron James. Like no one has had a worse front office among the all-time greats than LeBron James. Like LeBron James was at like T-Mac levels of not getting out. You know what I mean? Like it was becoming like
T-Mac, yeah.
Right, but I'm talking about like, yeah, true story. Yeah, even T-Mac had but like for a while T-Mac didn't have nobody, right? Like in I think it was
Orlando. It was just really him.
Pretty much, right? Because what's the name? Basically, Grant Hill got hurt.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
oh my God! Imagine if Shaq would have stayed on that team. Grant Hill, Shaq, and T-Mac.
No, here's the real talk. Here's the funny part. Remember, they were trying to trade Pippen for T-Mac. I'm telling you right now, dude. Like, I just gotta like when it comes to front offices, dude. Like, that's like the big thing. Like, everyone who probably who was a LeBron fan, which I'm surprised you don't bring that up.
That's kind of weird that they're trying to trade him for Pippen. Because to be honest, I could have sworn T-Mac came into the league a little bit after Pippen was out of his prime.
Oh, they were still going to take him. I forgot who was going to trade the rights for him. Who initially drafted him? Was it? I know it was Toronto.
Who was going to draft him?
I know Toronto's the one who got like T-Mac, but did he?
Yeah, he got T-Mac. Yeah, he got traded eventually to Orlando.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, no, I know he got traded later in his career. I'm talking about, did he get traded? I gotta look. Was Toronto originally the people who drafted for him, or did they trade for him in the draft? I'm trying to remember how that went down. But yeah, anyway, they were trying to trade T-Mac, and they were trying to get somebody else. And then at the same time, they were going to get Jalen Rose and Sean Kemp at one point for Pippen. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, Pippen was good. They were trying to get like that front office, dude.
Okay,
like,
okay. I see it. He started his career in '97. So yeah. Pippen was just outside that '98 season, so he probably could have gave him some production. But
I think Pippen would have
if we're looking at it now to see how see what the injuries that happened to T-Mac, they definitely should have did it.
Dude, not only that, but Jordan's the one who stopped that trade. By the way, which is proven to prove that Jordan is just a terrible talent evaluator, right? Like just garbage at it. But like he gets what do you call it? He could have had T-Mac. Like, think about this: the Bulls after Jordan, right? After that '98 season, they would have had T-Mac, Kukoc. You know what I mean? If they would have traded him for Scottie Pippen, they would have had T-Mac and Kukoc would have been their main guys.
That's something nice to fall back on after that.
Exactly. Like, that's a squad. That's a nice center. Those are two nice centerpieces, right? You'd have an 18-point-a-game guy and Kukoc as their second guy, and you'd have had a gazillion.
I don't think T-Mac gets traded neither, because that's basically already a rebuilding squad. See, they had Vince and T-Mac already on the Raptors. Right. They didn't need Vince or T-Mac. They didn't need T-Mac.
Right. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, but that's like the kind of moves that the Bulls were trying to make, and you can kind of blame Jordan for why the Bulls are where they are now. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like being terrible. Because, like, remember, they got Tyson Chandler and stuff like that, too. Like, could you imagine it would have been T-Mac? When did they get Tyson Chandler? What was that, like, 2000 what? Jesus Christ. But they would have had Tyson Chandler, they would have had T-Mac, and they would have had Tony Kukoc on the squad, maybe. It would have been an aging Tony Kukoc. But, like, you would have had, like...
Hey, aging shooters, always good.
Always good, right? So, I don't know, man. I just think, like... But anyway, the argument I'm trying to make is that the difference between what KD did and what LeBron did is that even though, like, people in Cleveland hated him, I know that the whole league hated him, right? They're like, oh, he broke the league, blah, blah, blah. But they were beatable. They were beatable. They were definitely beatable. When you saw the Warriors, dog, like, you were just like, excuse me.
Everybody gets one.
Anyway, when you saw the Warriors, bro, they just weren't like, what was gonna beat that? It literally took the god of basketball to train a injury sniper rifle at every major player on the Warriors team. Like that was pretty much what
Yeah,
it took. in
see
2019.
the Warriors in 15 and 16 before KD, they were basically the Heat. You know, they were a very, very good team, very good ball movement, shot a lot of threes, you know, but they were beatable. The Warriors with KD, it's just so hard.
And it was kind of like, it kind of like the added thing of, yo, what if you just basically replaced Rajon Rondo at the point guard with LeBron James? That would have been the equivalent of what happened. Like if 2010, going into 2011, LeBron James decided to go to the Celtics, and he would have just ran point for him.
Yeah,
that's probably what would have happened, right? Like he would have been the point guard. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to bench Paul Pierce, like he's too good of a weapon, and he's like they're established. He's their MVP. They're not going to do that. But like they'll probably bench Rondo or Ray Allen. They probably bench Ray Allen. That's probably how it went down. It would have been Ray Allen, and then Paul Pierce or LeBron would have been their two guard for whatever reason.
Ray Allen would have been murdering dudes off the bench.
Exactly. Whew, that squad would have been
murdering
devastating.
dudes off the bench.
That squad would have been devastating. But that's what I'm saying, though, dude. Like what KD did, it was like there was almost like it wasn't like he left. Oh, he left the franchise and went somewhere else. Like if he'd have left and went to the Blazers, you'd have been like, oh shit, like yo, this is a squad. But you still say, oh,
it was speculation that he was going to go to Washington for a while.
Yeah, wow. I would have never went to Washington if I was him. That found that franchise.
I know. It was looking good though at the time with the people that was there, Wall, Beal. You add KD. They did have Nene at that point. I don't know if they still got Nene. I don't pay attention to Washington.
Nobody pays attention to Washington. Like yo,
I know they
outside of Bradley Beal, like there was like no reason to watch that squad. But I don't know.
I'm happy he moved on though. I'm happy KD moved on from the Warriors. I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie. The season that the league finally got balanced, the Corona had to come out.
Yeah, real talk.
The league finally had balance, and to be honest, this was the most balanced the league's been since the Celtics started the Big Three.
Yeah,
because you knew the Celtics was gonna go to the finals once they had made the Big Three. You knew it. You knew they was going. You have no idea who's going to the finals this year, other than the Lakers. And to be honest, that's not even 100% guaranteed.
First of all, I don't know. Like you say you don't know who's going to the finals other than the Lakers, bro. Like they could easily lose to the Clippers. Matter of fact, they could lose to.
I didn't see
somebody. No, they could easily. Like no, I'm saying like easily as like it's 50-50. Like just as easily as they could win, they could lose to the Clippers. Like,
but I'm gonna trust AD and LeBron to show up more than Paul George will.
Oh, that part.
I can trust Kawhi to show up. I know Kawhi gonna beat it.
Yeah, but I could trust Lou Williams though too. That's the problem. And Lou Williams is better than anyone the Lakers got on their bench. You know what I mean? Like Lou Williams and Harrell are better than everyone that they got on that bench. And Lou Williams will come in and he'll have a game where he'll drop 40 on your ass. Like if we're keeping it real. So I don't know. I just think like that team is just super stacked. Like that team is just absurdly stacked. Like I've never seen like such a collection. You know what I mean? The Lakers just need they needed someone better off the bench. I mean, they got Dion Waiters, so you're hoping Dion Waiters could channel Miami Dion Waiters, where you can come in.
I'm not gonna lie, if he could, because Dion Waiters is a bucket.
Oh yeah,
when he wants to be, he is a bucket.
Yeah, so if you have him and Kuzma coming off the bench,
that's what I'm saying.
That makes it.
Them two, oh my god, if them two come off the bench and could just produce the right way.
Yeah, you could legitimately counteract the Clippers bench, maybe. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is KD going to the Warriors was way worse than what LeBron did with the listener. That was just. It's not even about he made the team, he built the team, constructed. It was more so dog, you even though you hated what he did, after a while you can justify it in your head. You know what I mean? That this guy, the Cavs are a garbage franchise. They are a trash franchise. Among
one of the worst.
If you think about the franchise that's ever had outside of Chicago, all of the damn all-time greats are from two franchises.
Yeah.
That is
you really is so insane. when I put my team together and stuff on 2K, like most of the greats are Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers and Celtics, dude. Lakers and Celtics. That's it.
Right now, I got Shaq on my team. Wilt, I got Kareem. I'm trying to grind up for this Kobe. I had Magic on my team at one point, but Magic shot is just too weird. And now, who else? Who else on my team? LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one. Lamar Odom. Yeah. I got Lamar Odom. I got James Worthy.
Dude, Norman.
He's got so many great. Hey, the Lakers are the best franchise. Let's just put that out.
Yeah, straight.
Because if we're doing franchise versus franchise, the Lakers are beating everyone.
Yeah.
No, they're not losing to anybody.
I think obviously the closest
is Houston.
Houston?
I would say it's the Houston. I'd say the Celtics is like, you got bigs, but they got bigs on top of bigs. Like you're gonna have Shaq and Kareem or starting, and Wilt is coming off the bench.
Yeah, but you'd have Parrish.
Parrish is not.
You'd have Kevin McHale. You'd have Robert Parrish, and you'd have what's my man, Bill Russell. And Bill Russell,
that's not a comparison at all.
Not to Shaq. Like Shaq is the thing that wins it. Like I'm just gonna keep it 100. Shaq is what wins it. Like straight up.
Like who's going against Magic? Who's going against Kobe? And then who's gonna go against Worthy? And then Elgin Baylor's coming off the bench. You can't do nothing with that team. You got Jerry West coming off the bench too.
Yeah, that squad is just too.
And to be honest, we have to put LeBron in the all-time teams. He's gonna be there for a while.
I'm gonna keep it real.
He's gonna be there for a while. If we're talking about what they've done for the franchise, then all right, we'll take him out. But if LeBron was a championship, he automatically gets put in there.
Not in the starting five. He's off the bench though.
No, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Off the bench.
Yeah, he's off the bench. Straight.
Yeah. He can't start just because of what everybody else did. It would be disrespectful, to be honest.
Yeah, not for no. And that's the crazy part, dude. Like the names they're gonna have.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody that can compete. Like, you could look at Houston and be like, all right, who's their point guard though? Who's gonna start at point? The most you could say is probably Harden. That's probably the best point guard they've had in their history.
I mean, actually, Harden and Clyde Drexler would be a pretty nasty backcourt.
T-Back coming off the bench for them.
Yep, that'd be a pretty nasty backcourt. You'd have Yao Ming as your center, probably. Yao Ming and
Hakeem. Who's playing the three?
That's the problem. That's where you start.
That's the problem. The team started. It gets hard to fill the team. Like you might have to put T-Mac at the 3 there, but who's coming off the bench now?
No. I ain't putting T-Mac at 3. You crazy? I'd low key put Yao Ming at the 4 because you're most likely gonna have.
Yao Ming's too slow to play the 4.
Then I switch it and put Hakeem at the 4. Hakeem was definitely quick enough to play the 4. He had the footwork for the 4. Because especially if you got, I mean, like, who's your power forward if you're the Lakers? Who are you putting at power forward? That's the tough part. Like, you're probably going to put another big. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone who can, like, play a little bit. Like, you might mess around and put Pau Gasol or someone
to stop this team, man.
Oh, no. Lakers win it.
I used to play with them online against people, and it was raps. My team was they used to start. It was Magic, then they would have Jerry West starting at shooting guard. I'd switch it. It'd be Magic, Kobe, Baylor, just because I wanted Worthy off the bench. Kareem and Shaq. Oh my God, I used to do people in. People used to quit, and they were going against me with all-time teams too. But I had somebody go against me with the all-time Bulls.
That's a sad affair.
Destroyed.
Yeah, dog. Like, people, like, that's not a fair fight. Because there's the second best all-time center. Probably is either, I think it's Artie Gilmore, whatever his name was. I can't remember. That Bulls big. It's Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was the second best ball. Let's just know. Scottie was the second best ball. And Scottie wouldn't start on that Lakers team. You just wouldn't. He's a bench player. He might come off the bench for that Lakers team. Like, he's coming off the bench because, like, who's going to be the small forwards? It's probably going to be James Worthy, Scottie, and who else can be your small forward? Elgin.
James Worthy and Scotty.
Yeah, James Worthy and Scotty would be at your three. If Scotty was on the Lakers, right? We're assuming. But that's what I'm saying though. There's only like most of these teams only have one person that would start. Like Larry Bird would definitely be a starting forward, right? No doubt.
Oh, we got Baylor that'll play forward.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Elgin Baylor would probably start. So, but if you had like, if you had Larry Bird or Elgin Baylor, you put Larry Bird, and then you put Larry Bird, but then like your power forward actually would be probably Kevin McHale.
I think, to be honest, back to our small forward topic that we were having, real quick. I think Elgin Baylor is the person that you were going to be able to put there besides James Worthy. Because I think Baylor was the one putting up.
Oh, he's putting like 38. Like, but the pace back then was so like ridiculously fast. Like. When I was when I was doing that video on like and I was looking at pace and stuff like that, dude. Yeah, no, like these dudes were just throwing up shots. Like, they were coming down the court just letting it go. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if they didn't have time.
Look at that man numbers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Elgin Baylor was
the pace was crazy. He was averaging he averaged 23 field goal attempts per game for his career. Yeah. Who don't really average that though? A lot of people average that type of field goals taken, and he's hitting about 10. He's hitting about 10 a game.
Yeah.
So it's really not that much different. To be honest, he averaged 38 and 18 one year.
I don't think he wouldn't
do that now. No, obviously. But he was a bad man. 24, 29, 34, 38, 34, 25, 27. Those were the numbers until he finally hit a 16 a game year.
Yeah, right.
And then after that, he went back up to 26, 26, 24, 24. Everyone was good.
No,
27 and 30.
You ain't gotta tell me that. Remember when I was telling you, like, maybe Elgin Baylor's in that top 18 category? You know what I mean? Around where, like, Katie and those guys were, and you were just like, yo, what the fuck? I was just like, you were just mad at me, like, he ain't better than
I don't remember you saying Elgin Baylor, though.
I definitely said Elgin Baylor.
I don't remember you saying
I 100% said Elgin Baylor.
I really don't.
I remember that because, like, I was low-key gonna edit that entire conversation out because I sound like a dumbass. But I was like, nah, I gotta be a man about it and let it go. So,
right.
But nah, man, real talk. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I just don't think. I don't know. But anyway, Paul Pierce. Like, back to what we were saying, right? So Paul Pierce has. He doesn't put LeBron in his top 5. Yo, son. The salt is heavy. There's a lot of sodium in that list. That list is sodium heavy. Definitely not part of any significant diet.
Hell no.
Like, he hates LeBron so much, dog. Just like, can everybody just say it? Like, yo, he hates LeBron so much.
So much. They keep showing that picture where he fouled LeBron when LeBron was on the Heat.
Yeah,
he was on the Nets where he was trying to struggle so hard to pull LeBron down.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, he was obviously past his prime, and LeBron was like in his prime.
He would still would have struggled. I don't care what stage of Paul Pierce's career, he would have still looked like that trying to stop Bron.
I don't think it would have looked that bad though. I think
I do,
but LeBron
was a freak his entire career. It just kept getting freakier as he got older.
Still is. Yo, dude, he legitimately could be a top 3 player year 2021. Like that's like actually a possibility.
I'm not even looking at it as a could be. I'm looking at it as he's gonna be a top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, cause dog, he's playing like a lesser role as a scorer, right? But he's still giving you 25 and 10. Like, he just went and became the best point guard in the league,
right?
Like, I was just like, how? Okay, like, and and I think it's a good thing because like it's giving people like a different, like, you know what I mean? Like when like Kobe and Jordan went to that second phase of their career, they were shooters, right? Fadeaways, mid-range jumpers, stuff like that, right? For LeBron, he's not them as like a a scorer. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that like, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that want to like shoot 20 times a game, right? But
he's still got double.
yeah, no, we'll talk. But the thing is though that he can do is that obviously he's an incredible passer. Like they're the innate ability of Jordan and Kobe was their shooting ability, right? Their ability to find their shot from like the mid range, from distance, from up close. It didn't matter, right? Like they were just more creative in how they found shots. They were just better scorers.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, I guess, but go ahead.
No, look, I know like the numbers and all that stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, like LeBron averaged more than Kobe, but like I'm just like watching Kobe and LeBron's career. Like, LeBron's a better player, yes.
They were better at creating their own.
That's what I'm saying.
Jumpers, like, I should say.
They were. I
will never in my life. I never in my life want to hear that LeBron James is not a better scorer than MJ and Kobe. I don't want to hear it.
He isn't.
He is.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's
a better scorer than both of them. They're more skilled at finding their own jumpers. Yes, but as a scorer, I mean, he is shooting better than both.
All right, the difference between them two, like the difference between the three of them, right? And I say them two because MJ and Kobe are kind of the same. Is that what makes LeBron? I remember heard Ron Artest explain that, right? Where he basically said like, oh, when you guarded Kobe, you had to stop Kobe. When you guarded LeBron, like everyone was a threat. You know what I mean? Because like if you double like anything you do, he's gonna find him. He's gonna find a guy, and the pass is gonna be perfect, right? But he can also give points. But LeBron James like didn't really have a mid range until like 2012. Right? Like LeBron James didn't have a three until around 2012, 2000. You know what I mean? 11. So like
we still could do nothing with him.
I'm not. Yeah, of course, because he's just an incredible. He's an incredible athlete.
Yeah, so were them too.
But he's a great athletes too. Yeah, but he's a great. Also, yeah, but they're not like, dude. They weren't 206. Yo, dude, when he was playing for Miami, he was 270 something pounds. Like, and he could fly. Like when people say, "Oh, Jordan has the highest vert," yeah, Jordan wasn't jumping with 230 pounds. Like, he wasn't jumping with like 240 pounds on him, man. Like that is like that's why, like, you know what I mean, even though like when people say, oh, like Shaq is super graceful, but no one wants to say like, what are you talking about graceful? He looks like a bully. Yeah, that's because, dude, that's a 300-pound man moving around and like doing and like bringing the ball ups every now and then. Like that's like doing post moves. Like you're not supposed to see that with a guy that size. But when you're talking about like, oh, pull up jumpers, dude, like fade away from the baseline, like a range of shots that those guys had their entire career made them, I would just better scorers. Like Jordan, I don't like. I'm gonna keep it real. I love LeBron. I don't believe in the whole GOAT talk, but when it comes to scoring, like there's like 5 people that I think are like impenetrable almost. Right? It's like KD, Steph, Jordan. We call it T-Mac for like 5 years was like damn near unstoppable scoring. Dog. Like it was just impossible to guard that man. Like I don't know how, and people forget about him. And what do you call it? Who's my other one? I mean, obviously Wilt, but like, you know what I mean, modern era. But I think like LeBron, yes, like his second phase of his career would be what you would think it would be. He would be the best passer in the league. Like Jordan was the best, was becoming one of the most efficient scorers, you know what I mean, in the league. It was like efficient from the mid range, efficient from, you know what I mean, how he would drive, you know what I mean, how he would manage his energy and stuff like that. LeBron is just, no. LeBron is like, oh yeah, I'm still gonna get 25 because you can't double on to me because I'm so dangerous as a passer. And that's the thing. Like that's the reason why Kobe was so dangerous with Shaq, because like Kobe's maybe the greatest one-on-one player ever who's getting to play one-on-one every fucking night. Like, it's kind of nuts.
Still not convincing.
Oh no, I think that's where people lean on stats a little too much. It's like Allen Iverson. It's the Allen Iverson test to me, where stats will never be kind to Allen Iverson. They're never going to be good to him, right? But like people who watched him and know, they're like, nah, dude, this dude was nuts. Like he was a freak. You know what I mean? Like he's putting out, like Allen Iverson, if you think about it, he's putting up Westbrook numbers in his prime. Like he was putting up Westbrook kind of production. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what Allen Iverson was. He was pretty much like a non-leaping Westbrook. Even though Allen could jump a little bit, but he wasn't like Westbrook, right? It's the same thing, dude. Like those numbers don't. I think this is one of those cases where the numbers don't. Like if I had to take scoring, I'm picking those two over LeBron. If I'm talking about, especially in a one-on-one game, oh my god, you know what I mean?
A one-on-one game where LeBron doesn't have to pass. I'm good. I'll take LeBron every single time.
Jordan has better handles, better mid-range, better. Like he just has more in the toolbox for scoring. You know what I mean? Like Jordan, like LeBron. Like, and again, we're talking about like degrees, right? Like both of these guys are obviously great scorers. I'm saying Jordan and Kobe were just they just had way more in their toolbox of what they could do scoring wise. LeBron has way more in his toolbox on how he can make his team deadly. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. If I had a good team, I want LeBron.
And somehow he still outscored both of them.
Yeah, but that's because, like, yo, dude, like, hold on. That's because, like, one, you also got to remember, a lot of his shots at some point were coming in the paint. You remember that the reason why he didn't do
that's not his problem. That's not his problem. That's not his problem. Yeah, his points are coming in the paint. Their points were coming in the paint too. He did shoot outside the paint too.
Yeah, but he was really bad outside the paint. Like that was the whole.
And he still somehow, some way, has both of them.
Yeah, but that's like, but what you're arguing is like if. All right.
What are y'all gonna say when he ends up passing Green?
No, I'm not saying that.
What are y'all gonna say then?
That's long.
He's not a great scorer.
I didn't say he was.
If I got LeBron James going against MJ, I'm taking LeBron every time. If I got LeBron going against Kobe, I got LeBron every time.
Dog, if you are trying to make me believe that no one's saying that LeBron's not a great scorer, he is. They're all great. All of these guys are great scorers. That's how you make it into that Mount Rushmore outside of Bill Russell, right? I'm saying the degree of which they could score. Like, for example, Larry Bird is a better scorer than LeBron James. Like, Larry Bird is a natural shooter.
This is why I said earlier, they can create their own shots better than LeBron, but they are not a better scorer.
Yeah, but they are better. That makes you a better scorer. Because, like, in the end of the day, right? If
does not make you a better scorer.
I'll say this right now. If games, I'm not gonna say games on the line, but let's say, like, you know what I mean, on their own, LeBron James will make your team better. You know what I mean? Because he's going to pass the ball. Like his points aren't going to go up or go down because he's going to try to get the ball around everybody else to make everyone dangerous. On their own, even and every team knows it. For Kobe and Jordan, if their team were bad, you knew that nigga was shooting 100 shots. All right, dog. Like, and you're going to guard him. So they have to be more creative in how they, you know what I mean, implement and how they score. And because of that, they've become better and greater scorers. Like they are just better at shooting, better at, you know what I mean, how they shoot, like you know what I mean, not their dribble penetration, but like how, you know what I mean, from pull-ups to their baseline jumpers, you know what I mean, to how they attack the basket, how they can like fake defenses, like, you know what I mean, where their spots are. They just have more that they have more that they can use than LeBron. And I think what LeBron does, again, is make his team dangerous. Like he can make bums dangerous. Like that's the superpower. That's the difference. Their superpower is that they can just score on anybody. Like give them the ball. You can key in on.
Imagine thinking LeBron doesn't have two superpowers though.
No, I don't think. Like I'm gonna keep it real. Like because here's the thing though, you've seen it with Iguodala, right? Even though like LeBron was still like getting his buckets, but like Iguodala, because he didn't have like a big toolbox, Iguodala was giving him trouble, was giving him a lot of trouble, right? Even in 2018, like I could tell why he was angry. Like he was angry because like Iggy was getting healthy, dog. Iggy was coming, and he was going to have to. Iggy was going to defend him. Same thing with Kawhi Leonard. Like you can't shut any of these guys down. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you can make them work extremely hard. You can make LeBron work harder than you could make Kobe and Jordan work. You'd have to implement more resources to stop, you know what I mean, Jordan and Kobe. Because like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to double off of I can double on Kobe and LeBron. So they have to do other things to score. You can't double on LeBron, or you can double on Kobe and Jordan. You can't double on LeBron because LeBron, he makes his entire team dangerous. That's their superpower. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why they are who they are. Like, if you try to double on Jordan, like, good luck, motherfucker. Like, he's still gonna hit. He's still gonna get his buckets. You double on LeBron, dude. There was in that 2015 finals where nobody was there with him. Timothy Mozgov had 30, basically because they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna like collapse on LeBron." All right, well, cool. Timothy's gonna drop 30 on you. Like that happened. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's gonna do. His superpower is to make his teammates awesome. You know what I mean? Or look awesome. And to get them all ridiculous contracts. But like that's not but as far as like, oh, that's why that whole last shot clutch thing doesn't make sense, because they're just better scorers than him. They're just better at it. You know what I mean? Than LeBron. So I never expect him to be great in like a bunch of clutch moments, because like why would he? He's not a great scorer. Like if Kobe looked like Steph or Jordan or KD misses a shot, then I'm like, oh wow. If they miss an open look, I'm like, wow, dude, that doesn't make sense. But if LeBron, who wasn't a good scorer, like wasn't a great like shooter for most of his career, misses a shot, I'm like, huh, yeah. You know what I mean? He's never been a good shooter. This isn't different than what I've seen him do his whole career. You know what I mean? But yeah, as far as scoring goes, I don't know. I like, you keep arguing this, but I like, you ain't gonna convince me that. Anyway,
you're not being very convincing yourself. Because to be honest, we're gonna end up having to revisit another conversation in a couple of years when Giannis creeps up into that conversation too. And sure enough, Giannis numbers keep going up and up and up.
Yeah, but that's what
before it ended. You're just saying that they can do more to score. That's really what you're saying.
Exactly.
They can do more to score. But if you could do so much more to score, why didn't you?
They did.
Okay, if they did so much more, if they can score so much better than LeBron, why didn't they?
They did, though.
Okay, pull up the all-time numbers and let me know.
No, but first of all, like we got to remember, like Kobe, you'd have an argument. Jordan, you don't. Like Jordan played what is it?
That is not my problem. That is not my problem.
Yeah, but if he's Jordan's fourth all time,
I know.
He's fourth all time with 4 or 5 left.
Wait, what could have been? What could have been?
No, it's not even what could have been. That is just, yo, dude. If
what
he
could have been. You keep saying, see, look, you're going to say if this could have happened.
No, I'm not saying
I can
if.
also
I'm telling
say
you.
if he got possibly injured during that time. There's a lot of stuff
No,
that could
but I'm
happen.
saying common sense tells you.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. He could have got injured. Anything could have happened during those years. You're just saying common sense because you want to go with what good could have possibly happened. If you got to look at both sides, there's a chance that he could have slowed down. Y'all just looking at Mike as he might have been a freak his whole career. It might not have happened like that.
First of all, he wasn't.
It might not have happened like that.
Also, dude, you're all right. If his Wizards days are any indication, he would have definitely been. He might have passed Kareem.
Yeah. See, probably.
But the fact is that he played less years, and he's not that far from. Like he's number 4.
Yeah, he's not that far. He's not that far from a non-scorer.
No, but he's played less years. Like he's played less years.
That is MJ's problem.
But that's it. But that's that.
Like,
but you can't say like, oh,
I don't care about the missed years. I care about the years that stuff happened. I don't want to hear. I don't like the ifs, all of that shit. Nah. What's happening? Who has more points right now?
But that doesn't make him. I just want the
question answered. Who has more points right now?
Kareem.
I just want the question. Who got the more points scored out of LeBron,
Obviously,
Kobe, and
it's
MJ?
Total points is LeBron, obviously.
All right then.
But what I'm trying to get you to understand is Kobe
I know
and
what you're
LeBron
talking about.
spent 17, like what? Well, how long?
Kobe spent the long ass time in the league.
Years, right?
He spent the long ass time in the league,
so,
and you're saying Kobe's a better scorer than LeBron.
I think Kobe.
He has all the array moves. You know, he can step back, hit the mid.
Yeah, he's a smaller.
Oh no, let me finish. He can do
smaller.
this, that, and the third. That's cool. He's 3 inches smaller. Kobe was still dunking on anybody. I have a picture I used to have on my PlayStation of Kobe dunking on Dwight. So I'm not trying to hear nothing about height difference. Kobe was dunking on everybody.
Height and size difference does matter, right? Because when you can't shut, like, LeBron didn't have a post game, right? Like that was like the big thing for a while. So if you're trying to get
it's crazy how LeBron didn't have all of this stuff. He didn't have all of this stuff.
But he's also a physical freak. He's 270.
They were both freaky athletes.
No one.
MJ was a freaky athlete. Come on. You see plenty of highlights of the freakiness of MJ.
Incredible.
You see plenty of highlights of how freaky Kobe was as an athlete.
Bro, no, like, that's not. You're being disingenuous here because nobody would say that those guys were physically like as a. Of
course, I'm not saying LeBron they're as physical, but they were freaks for their time too.
No, LeBron is Jordan, yes, but LeBron is the apex freak in history, in NBA history. Like, if you wanted to make a basketball player in a lab, it's LeBron. I get it. That's nice. But like what I'm trying to tell you, care that he was a freak.
No, but what I'm telling you, it's a lot of niggas that was freaks in the league. It was a couple people you just can't get it done. It's a lot of athletic freaks. JaVale McGee, he's an athletic freak. JaVale McGee is athletic as shit to be his height. What has he done with his athleticism?
Yeah, but we're not talking about
Dwight Howard is a freak athlete.
I mean, Dwight Howard had a good career. He's not.
He did. I'm talking about on the scoring side of the ball. He did have a great career defensively. I'm talking about on the scoring side of the ball. I'm talking
he was giving you 20 and 10 for like the longest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he wasn't good. Here's the thing though. He didn't have a post move and all that stuff like that, right? But he was also going up against he was also going up against bigs. Like it was kind of like he's the most athletic big, but he was also 6'11". You know what I mean? When bigs were still a thing back then. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, and I'm not giving him an excuse. He just didn't put the work in to be great at that stuff. But we're talking about the guys who did put the work in, who are all-time great in scoring. What I'm telling you is that you cannot not have that as a factor. Like, oh, hey, this guy played 5 less years, but is still fourth all time. By the way, 3 people, all of them have played 18 years? Like, who was it? Kobe, Kareem, Karl Malone. They've all played a ridiculous. How many? Kareem played 20. How many Karl Malone played? 19. You know what I mean?
Y'all gonna have to talk to MJ about this because,
I'm telling you, dude.
I don't care about that part of the argument. Like people like to bring it up. MJ did this in less years. I don't care.
No, but that does matter.
Because it didn't happen.
What I'm saying is that
he played it in less years, but he doesn't have the numbers. No. His numbers is what? I'm going to
settle it for you right now. I'm going to settle it for you right now.
All right.
So check this out, right? All right. Kobe and LeBron both score 40 points in a game, right? Off the top is impressive. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's a good game. Both of them scored 40, 45, right? Let's say both of them scored 45, right? Kobe, 15 for 30. LeBron, 18 for 22. Who's more impressive?
What do you mean?
No, I'm asking you, which one's more impressive? What
higher percentage?
Exactly. The less tries. The one dude had 30-something tries. The other guy had 22 tries.
Yeah.
So that is more impressive, which indicates one guy was better at doing it.
You said he was 15 or 30.
No, I said 15 or 35.
15 of
I
35.
said
You
one guy
said
15
for.
or 35 for like, let's say whoever. I don't care. T-Mac.
Oh, I
Doesn't
thought
matter.
you see. I thought you said Kobe's 15 to 35 and LeBron was 18 to 22.
No. I'm pulling out a stat line on my ass. This is a stat line in the game.
No, I'm just saying that's what I thought the fictional one was. LeBron was 18 of 22. Kobe was 15 of 35.
Yeah. This is the fictional one, but those aren't real stat lines for anything.
I know. I'm just saying if that's the case, I'm taking LeBron's stats. Like
Exactly.
15 of 22, he missed 4 shots.
Exactly. He only, but also 22 attempts to 35 attempts. Right? You're gonna say, wait, but he got 45 points on 35 attempts. How many times we say this about Westbrook? Oh, he got like 35 points on 28 attempts. Or, oh, he got 30-something points. Like, dog, at some point, we just got to keep it real here. Like, yeah, the accumulation of numbers is going to be on LeBron and Kareem and all those people's side. But if you're just talking about, dudes that could just get you buckets, dog, this isn't even a contest, dude. Like, less years, and he played 3 years out of his prime. He played 3 years at 38 years old, still dropping 20. Like, come on, man. Like, this is like, and he's still fourth all time. He's still fourth or fifth. I forgot where Jordan is right now. But he's like fourth or fifth. You're telling
now, you can say all of that. Now, I can also say imagine if LeBron wasn't a passer.
I don't think he's. I don't.
Now, if LeBron wasn't a passer,
yeah, I just don't think. I don't think it'd be as good because the thing that makes him dangerous is his passing. That's what makes him dangerous. Well, I think legitimately.
Well, you really don't know that. I mean, we're all talking about the if, so I mean.
No, but in reality, like he's obviously like.
I mean, who's gonna stop him anyway?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying somebody's stopping LeBron, right? Like I think what we saw LeBron was that 2015 finals, right, where he was just like a one-man band, but he's still a passer. Like if he sees the open man, he's gonna go for it, like his natural inclination. But he could do a lot.
Yeah,
but I don't think
MJ finally learned how to win.
Real talk. But I don't think Jordan. I don't think LeBron could sustain. Do I think LeBron could give you, if he wanted to, could be in his prime 32 a game? Yeah, of course. Like I think he could. I think he could get you 32 a game if you wanted.
I'm not gonna lie. Shoot, Jordan might have less numbers if he would actually learn how to trust his teammates in the beginning. But he was just going out there just headhunting at everybody.
I mean, those first 3 or 4 years,
out there trying to drop. Yeah, he was trying to drop numbers. He was trying to get his team. He was trying to win. He was trying to win.
His teammates were pretty bad.
Like he just didn't come with the trust my teammate type.
No, but I'm just saying though. But
like even like LeBron, like see with LeBron, no matter what type of team he got, he's gonna trust you. He's gonna at least hear.
But you can always. But that's what I'm saying though. You can tell what their second career is going to be. Like LeBron is going to be LeBron's going to be a great passer. Like his second career is going to look like magic. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think to be honest, his career looks really about the same. To be honest,
I mean, like,
he may be passing. Because to be honest, the numbers are really. He's still banging on you. He's shooting more threes, of course, but he's still banging on you. And he's still passing the ball, and he's still rebounding. He's still doing the same thing he was doing in the beginning. It's just he can shoot a little better now. LeBron be getting people with that little move. You ever seen that
clip?
Look
off?
Like, I was like, yo, he really be getting people with that.
But you know why that works? Because he's such a good passer. Like you have to respect it.
I know.
Like it's just like you can't not react to it.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry if I'm the player though, I might have to press up. Like if he looked down like that, I might be like, nah, he about to shoot. I'm like, whoever has to deal with him at the paint has to deal with him at the paint.
Because low key though, I'm not even on the front. Like
LeBron,
but you gotta
shoot right now.
Though, man. Like that's the problem.
His jumper is respectable now.
Like that's a move that Kobe and them would never work for him. Because no one's gonna believe Kobe's passing that ball.
Hell no.
Nobody's believing Kobe or Jordan's passing that ball.
Hell no.
But you 100% believe LeBron's going to do it. So that's what I'm saying, though, dude. Like, I don't know. I just think LeBron James. I just like You know what I mean? I don't know why, because this is like, yeah, because Jordan is in that KD Curry territory of scorers, right? Like Harden's a volume scorer. You know what I mean? Jordan was a semi-volume scorer, but he was like in a pretty efficient volume scorer. Like he was like mostly 45 and 50%. You know what I mean? In that range, between like 40 to 40, like 45 to 48% his whole career for a shooting guard. That's incredible. You know what I mean? So, you know, man, I don't know. I just can't can't knock him too hard. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we'll end it on that because we ain't got really too much to say about Paul Pierce. So it's crazy. Because that's fucking nutty, dude. Anyway, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, nothing.
All right, for sure. So, catch y'all next time.
All right.